Hello and welcome to our second session in the first chapter, and here we are going to install the Blender software first. But before we install, we should first see that our system meets the minimum system requirements. Open the browser and in search I am just going to type Blender system requirements. And here you can see here they have given this requirements and compatibility. If I click on this, now here, and if you come below in Windows, see the minimum requirement is it needs a Windows 8.164 bit. See, it won't run on 32 bits and 4 core CPU, minimum 8 GB RAM, and you need a GPU. GPU means graphic card with at least 2 GB of VRAM and OpenGL 4.3 or above. And whereas the recommended one is at least you should have a Windows 10 or 11 and 8 core CPU, 32 GB RAM, and you should have a minimum of 8 GB graphic card. And here they have also specified about using, if you are using NVIDIA, any NVIDIA card which is above G400, Quadra, Tesla GPU architecture, and all RTX based cards support. If you come to the macOS machine, see the best machine for Blender is any of the Apple Silicon machines like M1, M2, M3. So knowing this, the next job is to install the Blender. So for that, come over here to the website blender.org. Coming to this website, you have the download button here, and the latest version is Blender 4.2 LTS. So I click on the download button, and here you can, if you want to choose some other version, you can click here in the list and you can choose it. But right now I click on the download button here. Now the software has been downloaded. Go to the downloaded folder and just right click and choose open, or you can directly double click it. You see this setup window, click next here, and it has a license agreement. Click on accept, then click next, and you see that all the components are selected for installation, and here you have the default location which is C program files, Blender Foundation, Blender 4.2. Required, you can click on browse and change it. Then you click next and click on install. Okay, now the installation is complete. I can click on finish. In your hard disk, if you come to your PC, C drive, program files, you will have a folder called Blender Foundation, and in Blender 4.2 folder, all the Blender related files are here. To launch the application, either you can double click on this blender.exe in this folder, or it would have created a shortcut on your desktop, so you can click on this, or in your application search you can come and type here Blender and you can click on the open button. So now your software is launched and ready to use. In case you have a Mac machine, come into your Safari browser and type blender.org. And you are coming into the same site. Click on the download button here, and in case of Mac you have two versions here. You can see here, one is for the Intel based systems and another is for the Apple Silicon system. Since mine is a M1, or if it is a M1 or M2 chipset Mac machine, then choose this Apple Silicon version. Click on this, and now this Blender 4.2 to MacOS ARM64.dmg file has been downloaded. This is around 308 MB. Now just double click it. Now just double click this, and this is going to load as a hard disk over here. You can see here Blender folder, and if you open it, you just drag it into the application folder. You can now see the Blender gets copied. You can come into your applications, and in applications you will have your Blender application. So you can just click on this, click on open. Okay, so we are ready to use Blender on our macOS. So after installation, I will close this. If required, I can close this and eject this Blender disk. It is no more needed, and if required, you can even delete this .dmg file. Our installation process is complete, and from our next session, let us start exploring the default user interface of Blender.